Então, yes.
After 64 years of being in bondage in the zoo country called Nigeria, after 64 years of terrorism, kidnapping, tribalism, marginalization in the zoo country called Nigeria, today we lower this flag, not just in symbol, but in essence, rejecting tyranny and oppression. This flag falls as a testament to the end of an era marked by fear and control. Down with the banner of suppression, let it never rise again.
You say,
As this flag descends, so do the chains of our past. Today, we bury modern clothes. We bury an ideology of subjugation from raising the flag of freedom. Let this flag rise high as a beacon of liberty and justice for all. We
you
say,
say,
in the name of freedom, we raise this flag. May it wave for peace and prosperity.
you say,
This flag ascends with our hopes, dreams, and the promise of a new beginning.
you
To the
say,
future, we hoist this emblem of freedom, unity, and resilience. With this flag, we declare our
you
independence
say,
and our commitment to equality.
you say,
One flag falls. From the ashes of oppressions, we raise the phoenix of freedom. One flag falls, another rises. Out of darkness comes light. This moment marks not just an end, but a new beginning. The flag of the past is replaced by the banner of our future. Here today, we turn a page in history, down with tyranny, up with liberty. As one flag is lowered, another is raised, symbolizing the transition from oppression to liberation.
you say,
Ise,
All right, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are welcome to this YouTube channel. You know, this is the only channel where you get your legit updates on happenings in Biafra land. Now, as our convention is going on, a lot of celebration have been happening. Even the Biafra Liberation Army have been storming different streets and different states in the Biafra land, showing our dignity and showing our authenticity and acceptance of the freedom of our people. We have accepted to be liberated from the zoo. Over 50 million of us have voted for our referendum. And what is happening in Finland is shocking the world. What is happening in Finland is shocking the Nigerian state. And so shall it be. And so shall it be. Please, these are more updates regarding what is happening in Finland. Follow this channel, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share your opinions on the comment section. Then you will realize what we are fighting for. Then you realize the kind of freedom we are fighting for. Now, this is live convention going on in Finland. Remember, 2nd of December, which is tomorrow, is the D-Day. 2nd of December, which is tomorrow, is the D-Day. Now, listen.
This is the full organogram of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Like I said, this organogram is not just a chart. The structure is not static. It is dynamic, just like the Biafran spirit. It is designed to grow with our nation, adapt to challenges, and lead us toward global recognition and prosperity. It is a promise to govern with integrity, to serve with dedication. Together, this ministry will ensure that Biafra's light shines brightly on the world stage. I thank you so much.
Check it out.
Thank you so much, Honorable Obi, for that fantastic organogram and breakdown. Now, I would like to invite Honorable
Christopher to come and give us his own summary.
Thank you so much, great Biafrans in the house. Kindly permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. Before I go ahead, I want to say special thanks or give special thanks to our amazing MFA team. Can you kindly give them a round of applause, please? This team have been working tirelessly, sleepless nights, and they've been a great inspiration for so many of us. Yeah, that said, I would be speaking briefly about what organizations Biafra can work with or benefit from as a new nation. I'll be touching on some organizations. First, the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, the International Chamber of Commerce, International Organization for Migration, the World Intellectual Property Organization, the Food and Agriculture Organizations, and last but not the least, some human rights and justice organizations. As a new nation, we know Biafra is not going to be an island, even though, like our brother from Amazonia said, we have to help ourselves, we are on our own, but we still need to work with other nations. We need to have bilateral and multilateral diplomatic relations with other nations, and also work with other organizations. So first, the United Nations. We all know about the United Nations, so I will not give a lecture about that. The United Nations aims to maintain international peace and security, promote sustainable development, protect human rights, uphold international law, and coordinate efforts in addressing global challenges. The UN also provides a platform for cooperation on international issues and offers various programs focused on development. For example, the UNDP, we have in education, we have UNESCO, in health, we have the WHO. These aspects will be prioritized in Biafra. Other organizations include the World Trade Organization and its agreements. This encompasses a variety of international treaties and agreements that govern trade between its member nations. These member nations aim to foster a more open and equitable global trading system, reduce risk of trade conflicts, and promote economic growth. Another organization that we can work with and we aim to work with is the International Chamber of Commerce, a global organization that represents businesses and promotes international trade and investment. It was founded in 1919, and its mission is to advocate for open markets and responsible business practices alongside facilitating trade and investment. The next would be the International Organization for Migration. This is very, very important for Biafra actually, because as a new nation, we would know, as an amazing nation Biafra would be, so many people would hope to reside in Biafra, but we have to control our borders. They would not be porous. Yes. So this organization is an intergovernmental organization that provides services and advice concerning migration to governments and migrants alike. It was established in 1951. It works to promote humane and orderly migration for the benefit of all, ensuring that migration is safe, regular, and dignified. They do not have that in Nigeria, but Nigeria is history to us now, thankfully. The next will be the World Intellectual Property Organization, and this is very, very important for Biafrans, and I'll get to that in a minute. This is a specialized agency of the United Nations that focuses on promoting intellectual property protection globally. It was established in 1967 and aims to encourage creativity and innovation by providing a framework for development of international laws, or international property laws and treaties. As we all know, Biafra continues to produce geniuses, and we need to protect them. In many cases, their talents, intellectual property, etc., have either been buried or bastardized by Nigeria. Never again is now. If that does not happen, another thing that we suffer is that these talents have been harnessed, what we call the brain drain, by nations, companies, or corporations all over the world who know the worth of Biafrans. And that is why so many of us are here thriving in these nations, but we are taking our talents back home to develop our nation. Thank you. We also have food and agriculture organizations. Their works encompass a broad range of issues, including improving food security, promoting sustainable agriculture, and tackling hunger, and also malnutrition. The Food and Agriculture Organization, for example, is one organ of the United Nations, or an organization under the United Nations. That is a very good example that we hope to work with. Last but not the least, we have human rights and justice organizations. I can give a lecture about human rights and justice that you cannot find in Nigeria, but that is an issue for another time. Several international organizations focus on human rights and justice. For example, we have the United Nations. The 7th of November 2024, His Excellency Prime Minister Simon Ekpa announced that Biafra, or the Biafra government, would assent to or ratify all the United Nations human rights treaties. Thank you for that, His Excellency. The people love you. Yeah. Yes, we also have the African Union, although we are a bit skeptical about the African Union, but the African Union also promotes human rights and democracy. Yeah, I understand, it's okay. It's okay. Or the African Union aims, or like they say, they promote international rights, human rights and democracy, even though they rejected our case, against Nigeria, but we are still working on it. Another prominent organizations, we have Amnesty International. And I want to urge every one of us here, do some research. You can go to the Amnesty International archives, if you have the stomach for it, and see what Biafrans have suffered, in addition to what we've been suffering. You would know that when we talk about the systematic genocide against us, we are not just talking out of ignorance. Yes, there's been a systematic genocide against the great people of Biafra, but like we say, never again. Thank you. Yeah, there are so many other organizations. So in addition to all these organizations, we will prioritize working with Biafrans all over the world who are willing to invest and contribute towards the development of our new nation. Because, like we all know, many are yearning and willing to bring their resources and expertise back home to a safe and sane society and join hands with our government to move our nation forward. In conclusion, thank you. In conclusion, whatever agreements we would go into, both national and international, would always be in the best interest of Biafrans. In other words, we would focus on agreements that would be beneficial for Biafra as a nation, and our citizens. To that extent, we would need our best brains and hands. Patriotic Biafrans. We would need them in the fields of international relations, diplomacy, and other relevant fields to represent us at all these levels. The list above, or the list that I just talked about now, are definitely not exhaustive, but because there are so many organizations that we would work with for mutual benefits. However, our foreign policy, or how we use different strategies to guide our relationship with other countries and international organizations would always be based on our principle: Biafra first. Thank you so much. God bless the United States of Biafra, our beautiful confederation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Christopher. So, even though we are doing our assignments and doing research, we are not dependent on any organization. With that being said, I would like to invite Honorable Neka to come and give us her summary.
All hail Biafra. It is with profound honor and humility that I stand before you today on this momentous occasion, a gathering of unity, purpose, and a shared vision for the future of our beloved country, Biafra. We are privileged to be joined by such an esteemed assembly of leaders and advocates, including our Prime Minister, whose unwavering commitment to the sovereignty and prosperity of our nation inspires us all. I am here today to present to you some of the treaties that Biafra journey is rooted upon. I call what I'm going to present Biafra journey and the international treaties a journey of freedom, a lesson from the past. This is a lesson from the past. Biafra's 1967 declaration faced immense challenges, including diplomatic isolation and limited international support, resulting in a protracted, painful genocide. Today, we take a different approach, which all of us here can testify today. Aligning our efforts with international treaties and principles such as the UN's Charter on Self-Determination. This presentation highlights how these legal frameworks provide a legitimate path for our aspirations, ensuring our cause is advanced with precision and legal backing. Among these critical legal instruments are the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, United Nations Charter, and other compelling international treaties. And you may ask, what is this Vienna Convention of Law of Treaties? It It was adopted in 1969 and put into force in 1980, drafted by the United Nations International Law Commission, ILC. It is a cornerstone of international law, serving as a legal framework that ensures consistency, fairness, and accountability in international relations, making it a vital tool for liberation movements. I won't call it movement now, like Biafra, but however, I used it here to navigate the complexities secure lawful recognition under international norms. One of the core principles of this Vienna Convention is a Latin phrase, pacta sunt servanda, which means agreement must be kept. And this is to ensure that states are obligated to honor the treaties they assign. And we as Biafrans, we are confident that the UN and other international bodies will stick with this agreement. They must keep their agreement. Pacta sunt servanda. You may ask again, how are these treaties going to benefit us? First of all, we are assured of legal certainty. Ensures Biafra sovereignty is respected under international law. Also, international standing signals Biafra's readiness to comply with global norms. Strengthens Biafra claims for independence at the UN and other forums. Protection from exploitation that prevents unequal treaties that could undermine the new nation's sovereignty, new nation Biafra. Another one is dispute resolution. This provides mechanisms for resolving disputes arising from treaties without resorting to conflict. For example, Biafra could use VCLT provisions to fund defense political stability during and after our liberation. And what can UN offer us? First of all, Article 2 guarantees the equality of all nations, including emerging states like Biafra. Article 1 provides for people's rights to determination, their political status, and pursue development freely. Also, putting mechanisms to mediate dispute between Nigeria and other stakeholders.